So those are some of the questions nga that I had when I was starting. And it took me 1.5 to 2 years of being intentional on starting my own before I started Uplift Code Camp with my team. And actually, it took me 10 years after college to start Uplift. Huwag na kayo magbilang ng edad. At yun yung journey ko. And pero huwag din kayo mag-alala. Don't worry. Because it will be shorter for you guys. Because you are here today. And me and and all the founders here invited will share their learnings so we can accelerate your journey. So the journey of me starting to build Uplift Code Camp started with myself. That's the key takeaway of my message to you today is building ourselves to build the product, the service, the application, the startup that we dream of. So we need to start from ourselves. So I'll start my story when I was like you, back in the university. I graduated electronics and communications engineering. And my thesis then was a landslide monitoring system. So our goal is to study the movement of slopes and alert the community around it when an impending landslide is to happen. So 10 years ago, madami pa yung balita about landslides in Baguio, in Benguet, and in these provinces. So actually that project was part of BOSC's disaster risk reduction management project, and it was deployed in different provinces. So in that project, I was working with other engineers, both electronics and civil engineers, and with geologists. And it helped me gain experience collaborating with different disciplines and solving a problem from a multidisciplinary approach. And during that time, I was also often in the community in Benguet, where we were deploying and testing our sensors. So I was immersed in the problem space and the people being impacted by it. So hindi ko pa na-realize noon. But looking back from now, I believe that is when it started to occur to me that what I wanted to be part of is building things that improve the lives of underserved individuals. So that's my first advice to you. Find your purpose. Find your whys, not just the what. And this is a journey. It's easier said than done. But back then, I don't know what I wanted to be or what I wanted to do and my whys. It was a journey of years for me. And it's still a journey as well. It's a constant pursuit. There are individuals that clear yung what they want it to be, and some of them clear din yung why. But some as well aren't clear on why they want that thing. And some are also unclear of their what's. And those are completely okay situations. It's normal because finding our purpose and finding our North Star, the thing that we aim for, our goal, our purpose, is a process, is a journey. And that North Star will change as we grow, as we evolve, as we learn, because our mental models will change, which will impact our worldview and our life view. So finding a purpose is a constant pursuit. And it's important to be aware of it as soon as possible. So, and then I graduated, and then I wanted to try corporate. I wanted to try to work. So I went to corporate, then with startups and scale up organizations. I was able to work with local and global teams. It taught me more about building skills, both technical and non-technical. And that life is a continuous learning journey. There's always something new to learn. And that's fun because it means that we're growing. So at work, I learned about work ethics, working with with a diverse set of people that have different motivations, different communication styles, and ways of doing things. My working journey taught me as well of what it means to be mission driven, a culture of learning, listening to users, being obsessed with what the customer needs, and working with global teams, having processes, flexibility, principles, and pitching to investors. So through the years, skills have been built, and it's an ever going process. So my second advice is to gain experience, and it can be like me through actually working for a company, but there are also other ways. It could be katulad ngayon, joining talks to hear about stories. It could be joining conferences as well, or boot camps in different areas, marketing, product, or a technical one. It can also be uh, trying to actually build the thing that you wanted to build. So as you go through that learning journey, absorb, build your skills, and let yourself fail. As you get your footing, then you will be able to find how you could be smarter on what and how to learn, because it will be a never-ending list. So baka ngayon pangalan, some of you do have a lot of things that you wanted to learn. So what more ba as you gain to be exposed in more areas of the industry and in life. So it would be a never-ending list, and learning is a never-ending process, but it's fun. And then after years of working in different organizations, I was able to build a good set of principles that helped me get a better understanding of myself, my strengths, what's important for me, and the help that I need. And so I knew then that I have software engineering skills, that I love problem solving, and that I find it fulfilling to help other people. And also, I knew that I have fears of being alone and that I need a co founder in a team. I also knew that I don't know how to start really. So, my third advice is to get to know yourself better and build principles. This will help a lot in terms of setting your direction and decision making. So, having this, I had an idea on a problem space that I can contribute, and yun nga, that I needed people to be with me, and that I had a bunch of questions in how to start. So that triggered me to get out there and build my network. So I started sharing my ideas with friends and coworkers and started to join meetups, which honestly was a struggle for me at the beginning because I find it hard to strike conversations with people. I enjoy being at home than outside. So I needed to force myself to go out. And I started to go to these meetups. Pre-pandemic, it was physical pa. You go to a meetup. There's a lot of people there that you can talk to. And so I start the first ones that I joined. I was alone, sat in the corner and listened and just observed. Then I started going with friends to make it more comfortable for me. So I read and listened to stories, founder stories, and other stories of people in the space, just like you here. And it helped me to learn how people think, what's important for them, ano yung struggles nila and challenges, and how they overcome them. So my fourth advice is to continue what you are doing now. Expose yourself and build your network. So those are the four things that I wanted to share, and it led me to build Uplift Code Camp, where our mission is to help more Filipinos learn programming skills so they can land better jobs in tech, and also have a community, build a community here in the Philippines that we could overall improve the innovation here in our country. And that aligned well with my purpose, my skills, my principles, and network. So my journey started by building myself, and it's still a work in progress until now. It's a continuous improvement. So four key things. First is build your purpose by asking, what is the problem you want to help solve and why? Then build skills and continuously learn. by asking the question that how are you growing? A self-check of how are you growing. Third is building your principles by answering the question of what do you believe in, and then building your network, your team, your support group by asking the question of who do you need. So you're taking some steps now. Continue it. Continue empowering yourself and continue gaining knowledge and exposing yourself and launch your ideas. Don't fail. I don't fear to fail. We'll never know. So that's it. That's my story of building myself to build the startup and the service that I wanted to that I come to.